Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the fully enlightened One. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Hello, Dhamma friends. Welcome to Friday evening monk chat. We are here at the Empty Cloud Buddhist Monastery. So we would like to answer your questions related to Dhamma, if I can. I will try. So welcome to post your questions. And we have here some friends here right in front of me, live audience, and also Karen, B. Kumu, Vivian Tuong, Maria Van Tichke, Manal Vyas Mehta, Yankee Apple, Usha, Lawrence Suheva, and Mary Byans. All here with our monk chat, and welcome all of you. So to begin with our discussion, I would like to, until they pose some questions, maybe you can start if you have any question.
Question. It's related to what we were discussing earlier about schedules, and I guess the question is how to adhere to a schedule, because it's here is very schedule oriented and my job is very schedule oriented, so I need the schedule, but how do I adhere to it without clinging to it or needing it? Do you think?
Maybe you want to say the question so that I don't know if everybody in the audience heard it.
So you want to have a schedule to follow, or you want to adhere to schedule? Yeah, so over here at the monastery we have a schedule, so everyone knows if you stay here 1 week you will still very easily get used to that schedule here. You know what time to eat, what time to wake up, what time to go for morning chanting, evening chanting, and meditation. That is a really nice schedule, so it really helps us to maintain, to register in our system. So it's easier, yes. And at your workplace also it happens. It is a good way actually if we can do it. Sometimes schedules also are maybe kind of good habits. Maybe we have to have our own schedule too. Even if we don't have any schedule to follow in some other places. Let's say you go to a place where even monasteries, if you go, sometimes you don't have, you are on your own. So you need to have that self-discipline. You need to have that schedule with you. Before going to that place, you already decide you are investing your time and energy. So you need to make that schedule with you. Okay, I'm going to wake up this time. I'm going to do this thing that time. So apart from those institutional schedules, you can have your own schedule, which is, I think, going to be very helpful. Whether I'm going to read a book or not, whether I'm going to use my phone or not. And if there is, like, let's say, like really, really urgent something, so then what time is a good time? And your practice, meditation, different kinds of meditations if you practice. What time is like morning, what is my schedule for my meditation, and you can practice different meditations in the morning, early morning. I prefer Anapanasati, which makes me very comfortable because after a good night's sleep, it's easier for us to practice better. So practice Anapanasati. Maybe after lunch, you can go for even a walk and then meditate. You can meditate like even Buddhanusati. You can meditate some other meditations such as metta meditation. Sometimes if you immediately after food, a lot of people feel a little bit drowsy. So maybe it's good time you meditate for half an hour and then walk for half an hour and then come back again, meditate half an hour and then go for half an hour. Already 2 hours.
Bhante, what if when you do the schedule, it causes you a lot of stress and suffering? What should you do?
Then you don't have to.
But what if
Yeah.
you have to, like for
if
work?
if you have to, you need to accept it. Maybe you need to internally adjust to it. If you don't have to, sometimes once in a while, you can also try without any schedule. Okay, I need to sleep today a little bit more. I think it is okay, you can sleep a little bit more. I don't want to eat today. Okay, skip the dinner. That's good. And I don't want to, do this thing, that thing. I want to focus today more. Sometimes when you have time, I think it is good to um, be on your own, but always the schedules will not be there. I guess we should not also be strict to that. Sometimes you need a change. You just like, let's say, like in the army, the police, they also have very strict schedules. So sometimes they themselves feel like little bit stressful. So you go to different, maybe that is why you need to have those what do you call, holidays, and where you can practice on your own. Sometimes you can go to a forest or a beach or mountain or monastery and engage yourself completely free from all those schedules. That also is a possibility. Yeah. I know it is difficult, but if you have to, you have no choice, right? Then you have to accept it. Okay, I'm going to do it. It's okay. I'm okay. That is the theory that you need to apply. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm going to do it. If I like do it, um, like without any wish, then, or without any, if you're not willingly doing it, then you suffer. If you accept it, it's okay, I'm going to adjust. It's okay, I will do it. I have to report to the office 8 a.m. I don't normally do it. Okay, I'm doing, I'm going to do it. So I adjust my schedule accordingly, and you do it. And then you will like it. Hey, sometimes change for a life also is important. You see the same people all the time, you see the same, do the same schedule, and you breathe the same air and same buildings, that makes you more monotonous and little bit boring. And sometimes you need to, go for a change, go to the forest, see these beautiful mountains, and listen to those birds, and see the greenery, and see the snow, and and you also see different people, and don't feel anxious. So just enjoy how people be happy, and the little kids play, and the other people are happy, laugh. Just enjoy that, and enjoy that mudita, so when the others are happy, you can be happier. I think it is a good way. Sometimes you need to change. Even the breathing, the air that you breathe. Like, let's say, like in Los Angeles, you stay for a long time. Go to East Coast sometime and feel this cold weather. And people who are here stuck, oh, it is too cold. Go to Los Angeles. Enjoy that. Go to other places where the beaches and all these things are. You will be happy. You can actually, those little changes in your life can stimulate. So you can go back and then you start working again. You can be happy people.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, just one small follow up. Because I notice myself when I like schedules. I do well with schedules, and when the schedule's interrupted, my mind gets agitated. So I don't know if you have any recommendations for the clinging that I feel to making sure that everything is scheduled and the aversion I feel when that's interrupted.
Yeah, just like jet lag, right? Yeah, I think jet lag is a good way to see how your body does not like change. Sometimes it happens, but then you need to listen to the body. Let's say you have jet lag, so what do? You follow up with the body and you sleep. So why not we don't sleep? We try to, let's say, like 3 hour difference from California to New Jersey. So when I come here, I don't sleep that time. I just somehow hold it, and then actually we have to sleep a little earlier here. So so you sleep and then you adjust to this situation as soon as possible, rather than clinging to that same same schedule there. If you do it, you will suffer. You can't enjoy here, and you really have the old habits which really disrupt you, your wonderful practice. So you have to get used to the uh, new schedule. When you come to the monastery, it's a new schedule. You have to wake up 5 a.m. you know, so you are mentally prepared for that. You need to physically and mentally prepare when you go for that. I think that way your life can be entertaining. I think enjoy. I hope this is important too. All right. Okay, we have a question here from, I think, okay, a lot of people here. Vivian, Maria, Manal, Madalena, Yankee, Usha, Mary, Jekala, and Janaki, Kumu, Sujon, and John, Geeta, and Jane. Jane Austen? Oh, interesting name. Jane Austen. Is that the author of Emma? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see what J. Kala has to ask. Are Bhante, Suddaso, and Aya still in Italy? Yes. Yeah, they will be here soon. Yeah. Okay. Kumu asks, what are your thoughts on combining the first part, 1 to 4 steps of the breath meditation, as the reference point to calmness, and one of the Brahma Vihara meditations at the same time? Um, I I think it is good to start with breathing. You know, when you sit for the meditation, I personally like to start with the breathing, maybe long intentional deep breath, and then you calm yourself down, because you are already kind of agitated. You know, your body is already walking, talking, seeing many things, so already a little bit restless. So you need to sit down, then properly sitting posture, and then you need to focus on your meditation. Sometimes your maybe shoulders, um, there are some little exercises that you might try also, like take a good long deep breath and raise your shoulder like this, and then suddenly drop. It gives you a little bit of like frozen shoulders to relax, and yourself feel a little bit more comfortable. So maybe with those external things, then you can go to breathing. When you breathe long, you observe that you breathe long. Breathe in and breathe out. And when you breathe in short, you observe that you breathe in short and breathe out short. This also will take some time. Breathe in long, maybe probably at the beginning, right? We need to do some intentional breathing, hopefully, and you can observe that. And eventually, you can feel that when you are settled into your meditation, you can feel your body is calm, your mind is also becoming calmer and calm. When you do not make any movement, you try that. Do not make any movement whatsoever, then your breath becomes subtler and subtler. This really, really happens. Your breath becomes very, very subtle, and you can really simply go into samadhi, go into these other the rest of the meditation if you keep doing it. I think this is a good way. And then, as you said, if you like Brahma Vihara meditations, yeah, you can. Why not? You just breathe in and out, focus on your nostril and focus on your upper lip, and focus this entry point and exit point. And then afterwards, after a while, focus on this breath meditation for a while. When you feel calm, you can observe yourself, scan the body, and send loving kindness to yourself. Send loving kindness to yourself, your entire body. It is also very important that first you need to send loving kindness to yourself. You cannot be angry with you, right? So first you have to be gentle and compassionate towards yourself. Some people have an issue with like sending loving kindness to themselves, but you need to do this. This is important. Don't be harsh or rude to yourself. Be gentle and kind. Because we say, Sabbe Satta Bhavantu Sukhitatta. May all beings be well, happy, healthy. So that includes this body too, right? And this body is very important because this is the body that helps us get out of the samsara. If you torture it too much, then it won't be able to help you, right? So even though you can say this is not mine and this is not me or something, but you conventionally have to use this body and mind to get out of the samsara. Same thing like the dharma. Even the dharma, you use it like a raft, and then once you cross, you of course you don't have to carry it. You can leave it behind. So we have to be gentle first of all to yourself. This is really, really important. So scan your body from top of the head all the way to the tip of the toes, maybe like upper section of the body and mid section of the body and lower section of the body. You can also think of different internal and external body organs, or if you have some pain, numbness, tightness somewhere in your body, you can pay a little bit more attention to that and send loving kindness to that area. How do we do that? Like breathing in and send loving kindness. You kind of generate a powerful energy. Do you know how to generate goosebump? Have you done that? You might try. You might try. Like goosebump is also a wonderful way of like feeling. You feel the sensation. You can maybe generate a goosebump in that particular area. If you keep thinking, trying, it might work. I think it works for me. If I have, like, let's say I want to focus more on my head, upper section, upper body section, I can generate a goosebump. So I feel that like feel that sensation very easily. I recommend you scan. Maybe you have your own system. Scan on your own way and observe different body parts. and send loving kindness. May I be well, happy, healthy. May I be well, happy, healthy. May I be well, happy, healthy. It's really, really helpful to send loving kindness to yourself. And most of the time, you can notice with powerful loving kindness as a powerful antidote also to pain. Your own body pains can be overcome with the powerful loving kindness blessing. Unless there is some really powerful karmic um, sickness or something that you have, many of those diseases will also be gone. You can even practice vipassana if it's more painful. That way, you can also see the arising and going away, ceasing of those pains, and send loving kindness to that area where you have some difficulty. That will also be very nice. Lower back, knee pains, headache, shoulder pains, or whatever. Send loving kindness. That's really nice way of practicing metta to yourself. And then you can also go to your mind. Send loving kindness to your mind also. How do we do that? May no harm come to me. May no anger come to me. May no hatred come to me. May no jealousy come to me. May no fear come to me. How wonderful. You think that goodness. Just like you are sending that blessing, well being to others, send it to yourself too. So that way you feel more light, you feel more comfortable and peaceful. Your inner peace can be maintained better. I highly recommend practice this metta meditation. Remember, although we call it metta, it is actually all Brahma Viharas, right? So you can send it to your near and dear ones, your loved ones, or the people who have helped you, who have taught you many different ways, who bless you, and then who well wish you. Those people who are happy with your progress, those people who are with you in your ups and downs. You need to think of them and send loving kindness to them. That is such a wonderful thing. You can be grateful and thankful to those people. Either you can select one person or you can select multiple. Maybe you can make a short list of those people who have helped you. That's a very beautiful habit. You remember them. You are thankful and grateful to them. Maybe starting with the Buddha himself. You can think of your parents or grandparents, whosoever people helped you. Um, those people you remember. It is good to send loving kindness to them. Be thankful to them and grateful to them, and wish their happiness, goodness, and well-being and good health. That's a really, really powerful way of practicing metta. And then you can send loving kindness to the neutral ones. Why do we have to practice neutral ones? Send loving kindness to neutral ones. In the 7 billion people in the world, how many people do we know actually? Right? Only just few people. Can you remember like 100 names? Hardly any, right? So, yeah. So it's hard to remember or to be known to all, except you are a really big superstar, maybe a soccer star or any other, maybe actor, or they are lucky ones. They have done some good karma in the past, maybe, to be able to have that love and respect for many people. That is why it is said, when you do some good karma, you share with the others. Therefore, you will never be in short of friends. Yeah, that's why we need to share the merits with the others. And yeah, so that way we need to send loving kindness to the neutral ones. Neutral ones can be children, can be elders, can be women, can be men, can be humans, can be non-humans. Remember, there can be non-humans too, neutral. So we can send loving kindness to all of them too, because any one of them at any point of time can turn hostile. You never know how, when, where it happens, right? Sometime in the plane, sometime in the shopping mall, sometime in the school. You see those neutral ones turn hostile and make like life-threatening situation. Why not we send loving kindness to them as well, so that they can become calm and peaceful, so they also don't do anything rash, anything harmful to anyone, right? So it is good to send loving kindness to those neutral beings. And then the most difficult one, that is the unfriendly ones. Sending loving kindness to unfriendly ones also is really, really important. It is difficult maybe at the beginning. So if it is difficult, maybe take a good long deep breath, then release and relax, and then think somehow I want to do this. I want to send loving kindness to this person. Why? Maybe that person really need your loving kindness. This person really need your loving kindness, your blessing. That person is in real danger or difficulty. We need to send loving kindness to them so that they can also feel comfortable, peaceful. And even if they are sitting next to you, you don't look at him or her, you can still send loving kindness. Even if that person in your vicinity, you can still do it. You don't talk. Maybe he doesn't talk, he or she doesn't talk to you. You can still send loving kindness. You focus on that person, send loving kindness. This is a beautiful practice. Sending loving kindness to the unfriendly ones. Whenever you enter an assembly of so many strangers, send loving kindness to all of them before entering. May you all be well, happy, healthy, and here I am. This is your self-introduction. You can do it, and it makes so much sense because you feel more comfortable and confident when you do that. And you will feel like everyone is welcoming you. Right? So it is important to do that. Keep doing it. It's a process. It's not an overnight work. You continue to do this. It's a good habit. Whenever you enter your office, enter your home every time, or enter a shopping mall, go to a different place, go to even a swimming pool, go to take a, even entering the sea, if you want to um, swim, um, or enter a jungle, enter a desert, wherever you go, make a habit. This little simple habit of may you be well, happy, healthy. May all beings be well, happy, healthy, seen and unseen. That will be really a powerful way of making yourself introduce as a friendly person, not as an unfriendly person. I recommend you do it when you go to a 5-star hotel too. Before entering, send loving kindness to all beings there. Seen, unseen, remember that. When you go to your room, send loving kindness to all sentient beings. Seen, unseen there. There can be former owners of the hotel sitting comfortably maybe, and you are going to sit without taking his permission. You never know, he might be pushing you, So I think it is really nice way of sending loving kindness to all sentient beings that way. So sending loving kindness to the people who suffer is karuna. A lot of sick people are there in the world. You can select one person, few people that you know, send loving kindness to them. And also all sentient beings in the lower realms, animal realms, you can send loving kindness. That is your karuna practice. And if you do it for the mudita practice, the sending loving kindness to the devas, brahmas, in the heavenly celestial realm, that is so wonderful too. Think of them and send loving kindness. And then you can also send loving kindness to those world leaders, political leaders, religious leaders, community leaders, your boss, your supervisor, all of them. all those people are better off, right? Better looking, well versed in different subjects. Send loving kindness to them as well. That way you feel much more comfortable. So this is actually Brahma Vihara meditation. I hope it helped. Okay. All right. We have another question by Mani Subramanian. Venerable, why is Vipassana better in removing kleshas than Samatha? Is Vipassana all about focusing on body sensations only, or there are other types? In Samatha, basically we try to focus, concentrate. That is the idea. But we do not underestimate the power of Samatha. No way. It is also really important. For example, if you want to attain jhanas, you practice. You work with these 5 hindrances, right? So this is very important to remember that in attaining jhanas, you actually suppress your kilesas or defilements in 2 different ways. As I mentioned in the morning, there are 3 ways to abandon the defilements. One is just temporarily, very short time, you can abandon defilements. Like when you practice dana, you don't want to be greedy, you don't want to be angry, you don't want to be jealous. You know that when you do this, I can generate good positive energy, wholesome energy. With that understanding, you need to practice dana, generosity. So during that time, you temporarily actually suppress your defilement, but you never know. While practicing this dana, also you might generate some sudden anger or sudden restlessness when you see a lot of people shouting or talking. You might feel like disturbed. Still, that is why the mind is really, really fragile. We have to be careful about that when you practice dana. Maintaining noble silence will be very helpful actually, so that you can totally focus. But then there are other people who don't necessarily follow these things. So you have to expect the unexpected. Then make sure you don't panic. You just practice. So samatha meditation is helpful for us to Vikambana level suppress. This is actually much more profound way of abandoning defilements, but again, they are not complete abandonment. Like Kamachanda, Vyapada, Thinamidda, Uddhacha, Kukucha, Vichikicha. So those sensual pleasures that you have, those sensual lust that you have, you can actually completely subside during that time when you are in jhanic mode. And then you can also work on um, vyapada. You don't get angry that time. You are so full of compassion, loving kindness. All these things are there. Your mind is not a place where the anger and sensual pleasures come into play. It's much more pure that time. And then also Thinamidda. This is one of the most powerful defilements that we have actually. It's a hindrance. All these are called hindrance. Why? Because they hinder your nibbana. That is why it is called Nivarana. Nivarana is to have a shelter or shield, so you can. There is a barrier. So because of that barrier, you cannot go beyond that point. This is why in jhana we actually work with these 5 hindrances. Thinamidda, sloth and torpor, bodily and mentally. When you feel lethargic feelings, you need to work on that too. And then the other thing is Thinamidda, Uddhacha Kukkucha, or restlessness and remorse. Again, samatha is very helpful to cope up with that restlessness. When you are in complete control of your samadhi, you can really focus on your concentration, and restlessness will be almost zero that time. And remorse, what is remorse?
Regret.
Yeah, regret, lot of regrets, right? Everything is in the past, so you don't have to regret. It's gone, it's in the past. No matter how much you try, you can fix it. It's okay. If Angulimala could, I could do too, right? Inspire yourself with some of those wonderful stories. Everyone makes mistake. To is human. Maybe so we need to accept it. The most important thing is actually we need to accept it. I need to accept I make some mistakes. This is my problem. This is my weakness. Do not try to find excuses. I do it because of this. I do it because of that. That way you will not be able to fix. You need to recognize, identify, I accept. Okay, I do some mistakes. That way your samatha can be much more powerful. No remorse. It's okay. I'm going to be better from now onward. I did some mistake yesterday. So it doesn't mean you have to worry, you have to suffer, because just start over. Start from right away, not right now. Even if you make mistake, that's why I use that counting method. So let's say like counting method. If you make a mistake, start over. It's okay. You might make mistake. You start over and you will be fine. Keep working on that. So from now onwards, you can go ahead and do work on that. And Vichikicha is the doubt. Lots of us have many, many doubts. And that is why we need to have good Kalyana Mitta friends around us. That is why we need to listen to good Dhamma talks. And that is why we need to read the Dharma books. That way we can clear the doubt. When our path is clear, our view is clear, it is much more easier for us to walk safely and comfortably. Right? So samatha is very helpful. I must say it's really, really helpful. And in jhana also means jhayati is to burn. You burn some unwholesome defilements actually. When you do that, when you meditate, what do you really do? You burn some former bad karmas too. Because the more wholesome things that you work on, most of those bad karmas have no condition. They don't find condition to infiltrate. You're focusing, you're meditating. That way, everything you do at the present moment will be very helpful for you to go into your future with more comfort and more safety way. This is important. Remember that some of the things like you practice mindfulness. What happens when you practice mindfulness? Mindfulness is your gatekeeper. Does not allow those outside defilements to come and disturb you. At the beginning, of course, you will be careful. The mindfulness will be careful. But once you are into this practice of mindfulness, when you are an expert on this, when you are a seasoned meditator, those defilements actually will not be allowed to even come in, infiltrate. Remember in the Satipatthana Sutta this morning, we learned about Chittanupassana. We just observe. Saragang va chittang, saragan chittanti pajanati. If there is a lust, you recognize it, observe it. It's okay. Vitaragang va chittang, vitaragan chittanti pajanati. So you recognize it. And it is the initial level. Anger, those sadosang va chittang, sadosan chittanti pajanati. Vita dosang va chittang, vita dosan chittanti pajanati. When you are angry or not, you recognize it. These are very important for us to recognize it. And then later, when you keep practicing, you will be able to strengthen, consolidate your mindfulness. That way, the mindfulness will take care of your mind. Defilements will come and they will be turned back. You don't belong here. Go away. If wholesome thought come, okay, you are welcome. and that way mindfulness will take care of you, and you will be comfortable in working with your meditation. So you see why vipassana is important. Vipassana, passati is to see. Vipassati means see something specific, profound, deep, investigate, dig, explore into that. And that way you can analyze things in many, many different ways. When we see the bodily sensations, for example, Vedana Anupassana, that also will help you um, burn out the former karmas too. And also recognize, and there also you don't generate any bad karma. That's also really a wonderful way to get rid of the kilesas. And eventually, the most important thing in practicing vipassana is we practice anicca, dukkha, anatta. We practice impermanence and suffering, and then there is no permanent entity. This, including this body and everything what we contact through these different sense doors, we know it is not I, me, myself. Then when you know that, when you are very clear about this, then you will not generate any karma, no kilesas. Kilesa means defilement. That is how it happens. So body sensations will also help you actually work on your mental chittanupassana, first vedananupassana, and then go to chittanupassana, and then go to dhammanupassana. All these things can be very helpful to get rid of many of your karma. Rahul. Hey Bhante, I just wanted to thank you for your book recommendation of digital minimalism. Okay. I thought it's a question. Yeah. Digital. Yeah, digital minimalism by Carl Newport. And the other one is Deep Work by Carl Newport. Also, it's a really good book. I think, I don't know if he has any contact with Buddhism, but looks like the Buddha had this deep work way before 2500 years ago, when he went deep into the forest to practice meditation. That was what he was doing. So in deep work, so Carl Newport is talking about how important it is to focus on something. And a lot of distractions today, right? So I remember you're talking like suffering. When you see many distractions, yeah, it can be suffering. But I also want to encourage you, and sometimes if we practice alone, that can also be little difficult for you to go into the mainstream. So I think it is good to balance. I have a privilege to practice here, almost like very solitary, isolated practice. But when I go back to Los Angeles, I meet so many people. So I kind of balance. I feel more comfortable with that way. So I also think, like, as Buddhist people, daily you practice 5 precepts, and once a month you practice 8 precepts, and maybe once in 6 months or something you practice 7 days retreat, or once a year you can practice 10 days retreat. So that should be a gradual way of practicing, not right away, like you go to 3 months rigorous retreat and then you don't know how to go back to the normal life. I think when you go back to the normal life, you should be normal person. When you come to the monastery, you should be like a monastic, right? That's why you observe 8 precepts. But when you go back to the your household life, you just be normal. I think that is very good. There, you can be more mindful, and also you can be more compassionate. You can be more generous, and you will notice that you are giving a wonderful example. When you are patient, when you are more organized, when you are more um, matured in your approaches in dealing with certain situations, the other people around, they will see the difference in you. Wow, look at him, look at her. Oh, they are doing wonderful, very patient, not like before. Earlier, they were like very restless and agitated. Now, look, they are very calm and amazing. How did you learn this? How did you do this? Oh, we went to empty cloud to meditate. Oh, I also want to go. Maybe you can inspire those people to come and practice. Or else, if you go from here after some retreat, you go back. You still try to be like in the monastery, then it will be like very difficult. I think you can't really do it right away. It's not advisable to. There will be a lot of clashes if you go, and there will be more suffering. Other people will also look at you. Are you okay? They might feel like little uncomfortable. So maybe you need to show at least you are okay, you are doing okay, you are doing better, in fact, and you need to inspire them. That is very important. Do not make them like stressful too. And maybe um, you need to show your compassion, loving kindness, generosity, and patience, particularly. So you need to practice these things. I am sure it will be working better after you go back to the society. It's really, really important. That is why we need to practice meditation every time. Like once a day or twice a day, you can practice major session, and then in between, please practice like 5 minutes practice or 2 minutes practice of your TikTok meditation. That will be really helpful. Whenever you are angry or whenever you are sad, whenever you are upset, close your eyes, look into your mind, read your thoughts, recognize your thoughts, and calm down. That way you will feel much better. Another question like toxic waste. Interesting. How do you know who is reputable? I have advice from a monk, but don't know if monks from different monastery, country, same school will have clashed, and I can't use it. Like Ajahn Brahm being expelled. uh, I think maybe Ajahn Brahm.
There was
Yeah, it's not like, I don't think it is being expelled.
you can't. There's nothing to be.
Yeah. So it's not really. How do you know who is reputable? You can see actually if you listen to their talks, yeah, and also if you see them in action. How do they like? What kind of things they say? Do they say things to generate anger in you, or jealousy in you, or hatred in you? You can see like lobha, dosa, moha. Are they generating those things? If you listen to them, you just have to open your eyes and you can judge yourself. You don't want to really worry about that. If someone is actually uh, generating things like schism or some kind of negative energy among you or among others, then you can think of it. So you can, now it is easy, you can change the channel. Easy, right? Don't worry too much.
I was just going to say, Bhante, that's why I think it's important for people to study the Dhamma, to study the suttas. And then if they're listening to a teacher, they know, oh, this is in line with the Dhamma. And then also see, as people teach, are they following, as you said, are they following Sita? How is their Sita? How is their morality? Someone's reputable. Like, do they follow the precepts? Do they follow the Vinaya?
Yeah, sometimes people can blame you also. They blame Buddha also. So it's okay if someone blame you, and also you need to learn how to cope up with that. I think this is again very important. Like when someone appreciates you, you feel very excited, you feel very happy, right? And then how do we cope up with someone when someone blames you? This is very important. I
Mm.
think you need to think, okay, this is my karma, this is my bad karma, or I'm actually happy when someone blames me, and that way I don't feel. I actually can feel that, my agitation or restlessness or whatever happens to me. Look into myself. Look into your own mind. Read your mind when someone blames you, and when someone appreciates you. See the difference. That way you can really see your mind. You can read your mind. That will be very helpful. So don't worry, don't try to judge anyone, especially Ajahn Brahm. We have great respect for this monk.
Mm.
He has been, I don't know if, yeah, maybe he's not perfect, 100%, but he is a monk who has done so much wonderful Dhamma service in the West, and especially in Australia and other countries too, and even today. So we have a great respect for this wonderful monk. Yeah. Um, would it be okay? If I say chameleon, I think, ask, would it be wrong to aim for a heavenly rebirth? Um, like it is, it is a tricky situation that we are in today, actually, because sometimes even the Buddha, I noticed that he has actually tried to rescue the people from going to lower realms. For example, in the story of Matta Kundali, we saw how the Buddha timely intervened and rescued him from going to the lower realms. Matta Kundali was the son of a very miserly person, and so he was not taken care of well, and the father was very miserly, and this person, a young man, he was sick, very sick, and he didn't even want to spend money for the child. And he went to the doctor and asked, if someone has this kind of a disease, symptoms, what kind of medicine that you give? He was not wanting to take his son to the doctor, but he was trying to get some advice from the doctor. It is said the doctor was also like, he was sensing, oh, this guy, I know him, very very miserly, so he didn't give the right medicine, he gave the wrong medicine, and so he applied to that son. The thing became worse, and that time, yeah, the son was going to die, and then he didn't want people to come and see his things outside inside the house, so it is said he left him outside. This is like a little bit bizarre case, but it happened, and that time the Buddha recognized this young man is a really important person. He can rescue hundreds of his um, relatives around. When I rescue him, he can rescue many other people. He can inspire many other people. That way, it is said the Buddha appeared right in front of him. Actually, when the Buddha, when he was facing towards the wall, so he sent some light, and the young man looked at the Buddha. He was so happy to see the Buddha, great compassionate one, standing right in front of him when he was about to die. So his last moment, the Chuti Chitta was very, very wholesome and happy. And it is said he was born as a heavenly being. And later he saw his parents and everyone crying and wailing, and then he was actually advising them, um, what you are doing is not the right thing. Now go to the Buddha, listen to Dhamma, practice the Dhamma, and that way they were also inspired, and they many hundreds of followers were there after that. They came to the right path, it is said. So sometimes being born in a heavenly realm can be helpful, but that is not the last mission that we want to think of. Being born in a heavenly realm can also be helpful because there are some really wonderful devas there. For example, Buddha's mother. Who is Buddha's mother? Mahamaya. She is in heavenly realm, Tavatinsa realm. She is also an Arahanta person. And who is Anatha Pindika? He is in Tavatinsa Deva realm too. They are very powerful people, already powerful devas. And there are many other wonderful devas, for Chatu Maharajika devas, for guardian angels, also very powerful and good followers of the Dharma. And the king of devas, it is said, Sakka Deva, also really very important person. So it is said they actually meet in their Sudhamma assembly, and they also monthly evaluate things happening. They also discuss the Dhamma. You can also meet many wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends in the heavenly realms too, and the Brahmas also. So when the Buddha gave the first Dhamma sermon, only 5 humans were there. How many millions of other devas and brahmas were there? And many of them attained Maggaphala. So we do not want to discourage that way. But being born as a human is also a really a great golden opportunity for us, because we can do so much good karma. Only human beings can become Samma Sambuddha. Only human beings can become Pacheka Buddha. All the others can become only Arahanta. Devas, Brahmas including. So we have much more privilege. But remember, I remember there was a picture one time, uh, like the one, it was a staircase. One goes up and one goes down. So we are in the human realm. We have to decide where to go up or go down. That's up to us. So as when we are born as humans, um, we might do very silly things and end up being miserably born in lower realms. But if we practice doing good things, maybe we have better chances to be born in safer realms. Even as human realms, uh, you know, safety, dangers, pandemics, all these things, if you see, life is not so secure. So in heavenly realms, life is much more secure than us, that we need to accept. But as humans, we can also practice better. It is okay. You can, if you are a human being, we don't live for a long time, and you need to calculate how long are you going to live. You don't like average calculations. You can see. So I need to practice. Don't wait until you get old to practice meditation. When you are young, you need to start practicing. Even if you are so busy, that means you really need meditation. So take some half an hour, 1 hour away from your very busy schedule of your day and practice. That will be very helpful to maybe eventually go to a more long-standing meditation session. Okay. We have another question by Mani Subramanian. Bhante, how is fortune telling or numerology viewed in Buddhism? So, I think in Buddhism, what is important is to think of our own good and bad karma, and fortune telling or numerology or whatever. And I don't know actually much about that. But I think, uh, like when you say someone, um, okay, this is going to happen to you, it is good if they can do it for themselves. Sometimes you see those people who are involved in this, they also are not so happy people. They might also be even more in depressed mood. And so you yourself have to maybe be a little bit more confident. Okay, it's okay. Whatever happens, you accept it. You accept it, and you can make it. If someone is going to be sick maybe next month, so if you know it today, what will happen to you? You might be suffering more, right? And maybe if you don't know about that, at least you have 1 month to be you know simply live your life peacefully, comfortably. And I think these things are not really, I don't really recommend these things, numerology and fortune telling. And I think even in Buddhism, it's not so important to us, not at all important to us. So yeah, about living at the present moment is important. So you don't worry about your past, or you don't fear about your future. um, Stay in the present moment. Be happy, be well, and be healthy. That's what I can say.
Somebody wants a good fortune issue.
Yeah.
Stula Mangala Sutta.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. One of the person's teachings I watch, and he gave me a Dharma name, but I tend to follow Ajahn Brahm and his bhikkhunis, and I don't know if they would be angry if I used a name they did not give. Why should they be angry with you? Don't worry too much. Over worry. Yeah. You can have many Dharma names, lots of figures in the past. Also, you don't have to go by your Dharma name. I very much doubt Ajahn Brahm monastics under his care would mind. I don't think they would become angry with you. Yeah, they will. They are very kind people, I think. They will not be angry. Don't worry. Yes. Obviously, the relationship between you and the teacher that gave you a name can still be respected. Okay. Yeah. Jeng Tang, yes. Hi Bhante, can meditation burn karma? Is Mara is just my mind? Yeah, meditation can burn karma like that. Like when you have jhanas, you can also burn karma. You, even when you do actually some any form of good thing, you are kind of burning some bad karma. The more wholesome things that you generate, you can actually practice more. You can actually burn many of the bad karmas. Whenever you practice metta, loving kindness, you definitely burn so many anger karma. Karma of jealousy and other things. You burn them. You do not allow those other conditions, negative conditions, to appear. So it will be very, very wonderful. Is Mara just my mind? Could be more, and could be external too. More to do with your own mind, yes. Mara could be within yourself, just as the dukkha is within yourself, so is the liberation is within yourself. Maybe the Mara uh, itself is the outcome of your own actions and reactions, right? So the three daughters of the Mara, for example, Tanha, Rati, Raga, they are just the different variations of the craving. Tanha, desire, craving; raga, lust, and all these things are part of the bad karma that we have. Yeah, so we need to figure out our own mind. We need to read our own mind. Many times we don't do it. That is the difficult thing, I think. If you don't pay attention to your own mind, um, we don't know what is going to happen. The Mara can be there right in front of you, if you don't pay attention to that. One thing I can tell you, even the Mara cannot pierce through your own Sila. So practice Sila. Sila is the only refuge that you have apart from practicing Dharma. If you practice Sila, go back into your Sila, and then you will feel that your system will be much more protected even from the Mara. Remember when the Buddha was just about to attain Nibbana, enlightenment, the Mara came and Buddha actually touched the earth. He had an asseveration. It is called Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. So by touching the earth, the Buddha said, Buddha had an asseveration by the power of all the paramitas, Dana Paramita, Dasa Paramita, Dasa Upaparamita, Dasa Paramatta Paramita, practice that I have sincerely done over so many millions and millions of births. This is the time for the earth to prove it, to support, to witness that. And it is said the Mara was um, the external Mara, it is said, was beaten, and he ran away. And also there is a kind of actually regional guards, it is said, actually. They are also called Maras. So sometimes you can see when you do good things, you have so many disturbances. Did you notice that? Sometimes when you do good thing, more and more troubles come to you. Many disturbances are there. When you practice meditation also, it could happen to you. But if you do something wrong, you will have many friends. You will have a lot of affluence and wealth and easy money. You see, a lot of things in the world. Lot of people can get richer by doing some easy things, right? Like weapons and drugs and all those things are like easy money making things. But when we do something like meditation or practice dana sila bhavana, there can always be difficulties, there can always be challenges, but be confident of your own sila, your own practice, and you will never be beaten. You will never be defeated by any Mara then. You should definitely be able to encounter anyone then. So please be confident of your own sila practice. That will be very helpful. Oh, Jain Nosrin is asking a question. If a Buddha statue at home gets broken, is there a proper way we should dispose of it? I wasn't sure if we should throw it away with the trash. Yeah, so, like when we have a Buddha statue at home, it is just a statue. It is also actually a piece of metal or piece of wood or maybe just soil. You see this four elements are there too, and it is not permanent, it is also impermanent. Sometimes these things happen, and sometimes due to some reason the Buddha statue falls down, and people really feel very bad. Oh, the Buddha statue fell down, I feel very bad. I think this is where we need to practice our real dharma. This is important. If it falls down, it's okay. You know, this is the nature. The Buddha also passed away, and the other Arahanta monks were not crying even. So don't worry. It is very natural if something like that happens. And then maybe because you were respecting, you were thinking of the Buddha, by looking at the Buddha, doing some prayers. Maybe I don't recommend you just dump into the trash can. I think it is better to safely put it somewhere. I know in Sri Lanka people take it to the Bodhi tree. Those broken Buddha statues, they keep it underneath the Bodhi tree. They take them to the temple. So we see like lots and lots of them. They feel like little bit uncomfortable maybe. Um, but yes, you don't worry about that too much. Everything is impermanent. So Buddha statue is just a statue, and you get a new statue, it's okay. If you don't have also, you just think of the Buddha and practice. More important is you think of the qualities of the Buddha. That is the idea. You think of the qualities of the Buddha and practice the Dhamma, and you want to go follow the path of the Buddha. That is the idea. We might all make mistakes, but we all can correct them, rectify those mistakes, and go forward. That's it. Easy. All right. So that is what we have the online. Do we have any other questions from the live audience?
I have one question. You mentioned Angulimala and regret, or like in our previous conversation about having done played a lot of violent video games, right? And during our meditation, I remembered there was a blessing by Angulimala to the woman who was pregnant, where he said, having since taking the holy life, I cannot recall a time where I have killed anyone.
Yes.
By this truth, may you be blessed. Is that a form of, would that be considered sila, recollection of sila? So can we make that a blessing in our own practice of like since I've taken the 8 precepts, I have not played any violent video games.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
You can make an assertion.
Yeah.
By the power of the practice that I have done during this time, I have never played any video game,
Yeah.
which I used to do it a lot before, and I'm so happy. By the power of this, you can actually pray for someone.
So
That's exactly what Angulimala did. Angulimala was having a very hard time. Whenever he went out for alms round, people would yell at him, and people would pelting stone at him, and he had very hard time. And most of the time he would come bleeding. And sometimes his bad karma was so strong that the children, when they pelt stones at the birds, it would also come to him. Yeah, that is the power of the karma. But luckily, the Buddha rescued him at a timely intervention. This is really, remember, it is really important to think how the Buddha was such an exemplary spiritual leader. He went, he intervened timely. If he was late, before Angulimala's mother would meet him, he would have even killed his own mother. He wouldn't care because he was already possessed. He had to fulfill the target. Only one was left, and that was the last one. And he saw the mother, no choice. He would do it. But then Buddha rightly intervened. That intervention was the most important thing in Angulimala's whole sansara. If he killed his mother, even the Buddha wouldn't have been able to rescue him because he would have done anantariya papa karma, unpardonable offense. So this is why it is so important, and that is also why we also have to inspire ourselves. If we compare Angulimala, he could become Arhan, right? Why do we worry so much about some very silly things that we have done in the past? In the past, many people must have done so many things. It's okay. You just hang on to that and you just worry about that. It doesn't give you any respite, any solace. Just think of Angulimala. Wow. Angulimala, even after doing all this bad karma, Buddha rescued him and Buddha showed him the path and guided him towards the Nibbana. All of us can do that. We need to practice. We need to be confident also with ourselves. So I think it is very important that you don't worry about some very simple things that we have done in our life. So keep doing the good work. From now onwards, we all can do better. That is the best way. Do not repent over spilt milk. you can't you can't pull back that um, past wisdom, right? So Angulimala, when he practiced that, the Buddha asked actually, when he talked about the lady, the aspiring mother, pregnant lady, she was crying with labor pain, and Angulimala felt very sad, this monk, and he didn't know how to help her. And then he came to the Buddha and said, I met a lady who was really in pain. Those days they didn't have hospitals. I think till the very recent past they didn't have hospitals. They all were born at homes. So this lady was suffering, and Angulimal was thinking about her. And then Buddha was thinking, wow, this is a good chance to help Angulimal from further troubles. Whenever he goes for alms round, he will be respected by the people. So Angulimala was asked by the Buddha, okay, you go back to her and do some assertion. By the power of this truth, I have never done anything. I have never killed anyone. And I have never harmed anyone. By the power of this truth, may she uh, be able to release herself from suffering. Gulliman said, how can I do that? I can't even think of it. I should be the last one to do such a thing. Why? Because I have killed so many people. Have you done that after becoming a monk? No, no, no. After becoming a monk, I have never done such a thing. Okay, be confident. Go back and say, from that time onward up to now, I have never done any harm to anyone. Even in my heart, mind, I have never done such a thing. By the power of this truth, may she be well, happy, healthy. May she be recovered from her pain. That was called Angulimala Sutta. Even today, lot of monks chant this Angulimala Sutta when there is someone, a baby, new baby coming up. We have chanted this many, many hundreds of times. Yeah, Angulimala Sutta is very important. I think, okay, we have a little bit of time. Robin Nelly, is there any way of telling if we achieved stream enterer in a previous lifetime and we are just going through the remaining 7 lifetimes? There can be Jata Sotapanna situations. Jata Sotapanna means you are born as a Sotapanna person. That could happen. But then you could see if that is the case, you should test yourself. Do you have that Sakaya Ditti, self-identification? You need to check yourself. You need to really check yourself. Do you have that? Or do you have vichikicha, any kind of doubt? Your path should be crystal clear to you when you do that. And then you can also think Silabhata Paramasa, by practicing this and that, I can attain Nibbana, or I can do this thing. So, lot of rituals, rites and rituals, when you do, lot of people do such things. Very weird rituals sometimes, right? We Buddhists also, I see, like many a times they do like some weird rituals. Yeah, so probably there is a chance that that yourself, you could definitely feel yourself. The one thing that you know is like saragam va chittang, saragam chittang tipajanati, just like that. We also said vimuttang va chittang, vimuttan chittang tipajanati. When you are liberated, you can feel it. Avimuttang va chittang, avimuttan chittang tipajanati. When you are not liberated, you can feel it. You need to recognize it. Yeah. If not, there is something, some weakness in that status. Yeah, you might be one of those persons who are actually in the remaining 7 lifetimes. If you can confidently say that, yeah, we can't really judge. But I'm so happy to hear that if someone is actually into that stage. So happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Jen Thang asks, is it safe to practice Kundalini Shiva mantra and worship Namo Shakyamuni Buddha or Gautama Buddha? So this could be another ritual, you see. We were just mentioning about that. So Kundalini Shiva mantra or something, I don't think we have it in Buddhism. So you don't have to, I think, mix things. You have to be confident of what you do. Yeah, practice the Dharma. And also, do not expect certain things from like divine powers. Like a lot of people are always like hoping, expecting things. Okay, better jobs, better education, better money, or all these things you expect from external um, forces. And this is where we need to also be careful. I think you have to be confident of your own practice. Whatever you get, you accept it, right? Do not expect like, okay, buying a lottery, winning millions. Yeah, by spending $1 you expect like 500 million, something like that. By doing some simple karma and expecting 1 acre in the heavenly realm, that is also like not the right way, I guess. Yeah. So when you practice the Buddha, I think Buddhanusati meditation, there are many you can find. Buddhanusati guidelines are there. I hope you can find it. If you need, we can also help you later. Almost time. Yeah,
Yeah,
more.
we're close
Okay.
on time.
All right. Richard, my biggest breakthrough this year from the practice was when I discovered that we need to be appreciated was wrong view. Learning now, love isn't a relationship but a quality of the heart. What do you think?
It's good.
Hmm?
Sadhu.
Yeah, that's right. I think when people fall in love, they expect too many things and they get stressed a lot. Like when the other person talk to someone else, you feel upset, and when that person text you or not text you, talk to you, not talk to you, always suffering, right? So what is the point in having a relationship like that? I think it should be a point where you can be happier, right? You can discuss together, share your ups and downs. You are weak, you can get some advice. Maybe someone is there to listen to you, care for you. I think if we can somehow make it to a more positive relationship, these relationships can be better. Like I remember, like how Yasodhara and Prince Siddhartha, that Yasodhara did not have any complaint, and she exactly knew what was Prince Siddhartha's motive, and they were actually practicing together. They did not have any complaint, nothing. So, and eventually, what happened? The Buddha left her temporarily, and then to come back and rescue her from the rest of the samsara. So if he was staying with Yasodhara, even the Buddha couldn't, none of them could actually help themselves to, get out of this samsara. So that temporary leaving was very helpful. Sometimes you need to do that, right? I hope, quality of the heart is all what matters. You should be more happier. You should be more understanding. Respect each other, right? Mutual respect and mutual trust. All these things. And sometimes, like I have a lot of complaints about these things. People say like they check the Facebook page or each other, what they do, everything, wherever they go, whatever, whosoever they talk, then you get like really very stressful. Just be comfortable with your relationship and respect and trust. This is where we need to, I think, both people have to come together, talk to each other, and understand each other. That way, your life can be much more happier, I think. Okay. Yes. We have a few more questions. I think I have been told that Buddha means to awaken or awaken, but what does Dhamma and Sangha mean? Yeah, Buddha is not a name, it is a status. Like Buddha is the awakened one. Dharma is the teaching. Sangha is the community, the disciples who practice the Dharma. Okay, so especially the Sangha here means the monks. Sangha here it is also explained like those blessed ones, community of disciples who practice. They are worthy of respect, worthy of hospitality, worthy of donations, and worthy of gifts. Yeah, Dakineya, Ahuneya, Pahuneya, Dakineya, Anjali Karaneya. These are some of the qualification that they have when you are into the Sangha. And also there are noble Sangha, Arya Sangha. Arya is all those Sangha members who have attained Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Magga, Phala. Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahanta, Magga and Phala. There are 8 noble persons in this way. So Sangha is the unbroken lineage of those great monks ever since the Buddha Sasana was initiated today and even in future. All those Sangha members, innumerable, incalculable Mahasangha members are counted here. Okay. Facebook users, is there any short mantra to give to someone who is very busy but has some faith in Buddha? Short mantra. Okay, I think short mantra is there. Like Sabba Papasa Akaranang Kusalasa Upasampada Sachitta Pariyodapanang Etang Buddhana Sasana. Sabba Papasa Akaranang, avoid all evils. Don't do anything wrong. Kusalasa upasampada, do all the wholesome things. Sachitta pariyodapanang, purify your mind. Etang buddhana sasanang, this is the teaching of all the Buddhas. So to be precise, to be good and to do good. Yeah, that's it. And you can give that mantra to that person. And you can also practice yourself. Yes. I think one last question and we finish. This is not a question. Much appreciated, Bhante. Unconditional love towards all beings without the need to be loved back or be appreciated has been truly liberating. Yes. Do not expect when you send loving kindness, do not expect, but those things will come to you naturally. You don't have to expect. That is very important practice. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us today with the Monk Chat. Looking forward to seeing you again with another Monk Chat on Friday 7:30, and also we have other programs tomorrow 6 p.m.
So if people are local, so 6 p.m. there's Dhamma talk and meditation, and Sunday people can come in the morning.
Yeah,
and
if
help.
you are around New Jersey, New York, you are welcome to join us. Sunday 1 to 4 and Saturday 6 p.m. You are welcome to join us with our meditation sessions.
And possibly other monastics will be here Sunday, right?
Yes, yes. We will have, I think, some more monastics coming up, joining us with our meditation on Sunday. That will be so wonderful. Okay.
And next week, Bhante Sumitta will be back then.
Yes, Bhante Sudaso will be back and you will have more Sangha. All right, with that we conclude today. May you all be well, happy, healthy, with the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. May you and your loved ones, your near and dear ones, your family members, friends, relatives, teachers, elders, may they all be well, happy, healthy. May all sentient beings, including Devas, Brahmas in the celestial realm, and also the other sentient beings in the lower realms, the sentient beings in the animal realms, and all humans, children and elders, men and women, seen and unseen, near and far. May they all be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever they are. May you all be able to live your life peacefully, comfortably, with good health. May all of us and all of them be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of our samsara. Thinking thus, please keep your palms together close to your heart and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Abhivadana siris nichang vaddha pachayino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvagno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. Okay, good night everyone. See you again later.